don't kink shame. Maybe it's mom and dad working in a third.
Oh,
providing some spice in their
I
lives.
saw mommy kissing Santa Claus while
Daddy
dad
was in the
was
corner
recording.
videotaping.
Yeah.
Brunch.
Hit it, boys. Merry Christmas, Pete.
Hey, Merry Christmas, Deej.
And good evening and morning.
Oh, that's true. Yes, I just woke up from a nap.
Someone's coming off a nap.
Yeah, I'm not a very frequent napper, but I woke up from a nap this afternoon and almost missed the recording of this podcast.
Let me tell you two things. People who are frequent nappers, serial killers.
Yeah, degenerates.
Really weird. Two, naps in general, this is going to sound controversial. We both agree. Naps overall are bad.
Don't eat them.
They're bad. Nothing good comes from them. Yeah. Unless, there is very few, if you have an early flight and then you have to do something later that day and you nap for 2 hours, but nobody needs you for anything, by all means, God bless, go nap.
Or, I'm a necessary napper. I'm the kind of, if I'm taking a nap, it's because I fucking need a nap and I just cannot function if I go on with my day. And that's where I was today. I was trying to do
just
anything I could.
Coffee.
I don't know, because I would have crashed at some point because I have a full shift at work later tonight. I was going to crash. I was like, I need to hit the reset button. I was playing video games, trying to keep myself awake. I couldn't even do it. I could not function.
So this is the napping thing. Napping is like eating in that, of course you like it when you're starting to do it.
Doing it, yeah.
When you're taking a nap, when you're like, I really need a nap. Oh man, if I just shut my eyes for a little bit, it's the best feeling because it's like you're kind of getting away with something. Everyone's awake right now.
Especially when it's I took a nap at 3 o'clock on a Tuesday afternoon.
Oh yeah, that's like the prime napping time. It's early to late afternoon.
They're at work.
But it's everybody's all out and about doing things, and I'm sleeping right now. There's a little thrill of that. It feels like you're sneaking around.
Right.
But I mean, after now you're not going to fall asleep tonight.
Oh, I will. Yeah, wow. I will. It was just more of I needed an hour to close my eyes just to kind of reset give myself a little bit of energy heading into my work little later. But let me tell you, it is difficult it's way more difficult to nap during the winter than it is during the summer. A nice little summer afternoon nap can be great. You wake up, it's still light out. I took a nap from 2 o'clock to 4:30 or something like that. I woke up at 4:30. It was pitch dark out. I had text messages from people, and I looked at my phone. I was like, why the fuck are these people texting me at 4:30 in the morning? And then I had to figure out that it was 4:30 p.m.
I'm just trying to process that you thought you were making this am I right, folks, kind of comment when you said that it's harder to nap in the winter than it is in the summer.
It's harder to come out of a nap during...
Oh, okay. I was going to say, winter is just constantly fighting the feeling to just fall asleep when you're standing up.
Yeah, but...
Are you talking louder than you usually talk?
Am I?
I don't know.
Am I
I'm a little distracted by that.
I feel like you're talking lower than you usually talk. I feel like
I feel like prime me. I could be wrong. I don't know. I'm just last 20 seconds I've just been distracted by it.
Maybe I've got a post-nap volume glow.
Yeah, you're maybe I don't know, sometimes when I'm trying to wake myself up, I'll do some slap myself in the face blah, 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 come on, get out of it, and I'll do a lot of those things. I feel like that's what you're doing right now. Is it just
me trying to scream myself awake?
Yeah.
Could be.
You're preventing me from falling asleep at the very least.
Well,
got a guy screaming in here. Speaking of which, speaking of guys screaming, I revealed to a coworker the other day, and I don't know how this never came up, snoring. Mm-hmm. Have we talked about snoring?
Only during movies.
Okay.
When it frustrates you.
All right. So yeah, as we were talking about snoring, and I was like, how has this never come up on brunch? I think, and that is weird. I'm kind of just volunteering a take instead of it being pushed out of me. But I just need everyone to know that I think if you snore, that deep down, it's a Salem a witch trial thing. That person is that person's like a snorer.
I honestly think maybe
there's a little bit of Satan inside them.
Maybe this has happened in our personal lives, but I believe that I've heard this take before, and it could have been like out one night because I am a snorer.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm a snorer. I'm a snorer. I'm a drunk snorer. That's a thing. I don't snore when I'm sober, but when I'm drunk, oh boy, good luck keeping me down. And I am a vicious drunk snorer.
So I'm sure I have snored before. Maybe I was drunk. Maybe when I think like when you're sick, everybody snores. But like that's your body not working. Yeah. So I mean like your body's not supposed to snore. If you snore, it means that your body is breaking. Wrong. Yeah, like your body just isn't functioning like a person who's going to go to heaven. it's just functioning like devil. It's like a right. I honestly think it is. And as someone who has had sleep paralysis, I think that is less of like I thought until I knew what it was. I thought that was a sign that I was like I'm a possessed person. This is a really bad thing. Guess I'm got a little Satan inside me. I'm just gonna keep that to myself. Then I found out what it was, and I was like, okay, cool, totally normal.
No, that seems a lot more satanic than snoring.
Well, sometimes it involves like seeing a demon. So
what?
Yeah,
I didn't know this part.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
You think somebody's in the room.
Jesus Christ.
Look,
what triggers
a lot of people
though?
Don't know what sleep paralysis is, and like we talk about like stigma. Let's fix the stigma with like either
depression.
I don't know, like mental health stuff, sexuality, things like that.
We've already tackled that, man.
I don't need this isn't a stigma thing with sleep paralysis. It's just that people fucking somehow don't know what this is. And I mean, even when I found about it, as somebody who had experienced it a bunch, I was reading the Wikipedia page and I was like, my God.
I really need to do my research on this.
It's in no way, the craziest thing is, there's been no connection made between sleep paralysis and any sort of mental health thing. It's just like...
What triggers it? Is it just like a random thing?
I don't know. I think it's like your body is stuck between sleep cycles or something. So basically, it feels like you're asleep, but like you're conscious. So like I think your eyes are closed during it, but like you think you can like see around your room and everything, and like you can't make yourself move, and it's a little unnerving.
Yikes.
Yeah, I haven't had it. Honestly, I don't think I've had it since I learned what it was.
Really? That's interesting. I feel like that's very interesting. I feel like sleep stuff is the most terrorizing things in the world.
Oh yeah, because I'll get a nightmare from time to time, and I've never found a cure for like the nightmare. Like when I have a nightmare, I'm never immediately ready to go back to sleep.
No, you never. I
like sit up, I move around, I talk too loud on a podcast. Yes. I just do everything to try to.
There's really I feel like there's no growing out of like accepting a nightmare.
What do you mean?
Like I'm 28 years old, 27 years old.
Oh, that was a nightmare.
Yeah, it's like, oh, that's a nightmare, no big deal. I'll wake up out of a nightmare and be like, holy fuck, like. Yeah. Somebody hold me. Maybe it's because I just don't have them a lot, so that when I do have them, it's super jarring. But I can't imagine like somebody who has frequent nightmares. One, how they live, because fuck that. And two, how you just like shake that off.
Mm-hmm. Mitch Hedberg was a big anti-dream guy because he didn't like the idea that when he went to sleep, he had to do more work. So he has a bit where he's like, I'm trying to sleep. The next thing I know, I got to build a log cabin with my former boss.
Strange dream, for sure.
But that's like your generic dream. Like I had a dream that I was doing blank with this random person.
Yeah, it's like basically dreams are like fucking like Mad Libs.
Yes, exactly. Do you subscribe to the theory that you dream about your dream is based on your last thought before you fell asleep?
No, but I do feel like recent thoughts definitely play into dreams because
it's like your subconscious.
Yeah. I had a dream like last week, and I don't dream very often either. I don't dream or
you might not remember them.
Yeah, that's true. But I did do.
You might have this total secret life of dreams.
That's true. It's better than the secret life of pets.
Yeah.
I dabbled in CBD oil a couple times, like a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
Let me tell you.
Try to get to sleep?
Yeah. Those give me, like, vivid dreams.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it's very weird and unsettling, but the CBD oil works like a fucking charm. It's great. What was I saying? I had a dream the other week about like a random person that I hadn't thought of in like 2 years prior to that night. Like I thought of him that night while awake, and then he was in my dream that night, and I was like, the fuck? It's a person that I hadn't thought about for like a couple of years, so I was like, that's definitely weird.
I have a dream, song to sing to help me cope with anything. If you see the future, da 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 da. You know that song?
Nope.
Da 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 da. You can never fail. I believe in angels.
Yeah, it's an ABBA song for sure.
Yeah, it is. It's an ABBA song.
I was going to say, right after the first line, I was like, sounds like an ABBA song, but I waited because everything you do
I
and
sang
say
it an octave
sounds
lower.
like an ABBA.
I could have gone for it. But I do have one small little ABBA thought I want to throw into here. Do Agneta, I'm still not over her. What a babe. 2, does ABBA exist in the Mamma Mia world?
I feel like that question's been brought up by like critics before, but
Well, it's not as cool then for them to do it. But it's a good us conversation.
I don't know. Like they have to, right? Because Donna and the Dynamos would be much more popular.
Right, those songs were
Yeah,
terrific.
exactly. Donna and the Dynamos would have taken over the fucking world.
Right, there's no way they wouldn't. Like, I don't know, maybe Tanya. I could see Tanya being like hard to work with or something. Tanya, like rubbing people the wrong way,
Yeah.
be like pushing people around, like being really mean to like engineers or something in the studio, and they're like, all right, this woman is an asshole.
You know what the deal might have been? Is that the other friend who nobody knows her name, who
Rosie.
Roseanne, yeah. They were like, hey, you guys can be big stars, but you got to get rid of that freak.
Why? Why was she?
Because nobody remembers her.
Oh, right.
So they're like,
yeah.
you gotta drop the dead weight. We'll give you
She's like
somebody
Meg
better.
Griffin?
Yes, yeah. And they were like, no, but that's our friend.
Yeah, but I can't tell if ABBA exists because Bjorn and Benny are in Mamma Mia 2.
Are they really?
But
Who are they?
there is, well, Benny's when they're singing Waterloo and they're at the piano.
Okay.
Like
I didn't know this.
there's a shot of them. I wasn't sure when I saw it who it was. I was like, that's definitely one of the dudes
That's
from
a
ABBA,
guy.
because just for some reason they showed like him playing piano and like the three of them. It's a shot of the three of them, her, Harry, and Benny, and they do like a whoa, 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 and I was like, that's definitely one of them. And one of the professors in the beginning is Bjorn.
Oh, really?
And when you see it, like, even without knowing what Bjorn looks like, just if you watch it, you're like, that looks like a rich Swedish man. That's not some, like, frumpy professor. But yeah, so they're in it, but they're playing other people. So, like, Bjorn in real life is not a professor. Benny does happen to play piano, but why in 1979 would, like, a 300-year-old Benny from ABBA be there? It really makes you think.
Yeah,
it makes me think at least.
It does, because like if they did exist in that universe, then I feel like a lot more questions would be brought up, being like, hey, why the fuck do these freaks just sing ABBA all the time?
Yeah.
Like, what's going on? That's never questioned. But the fact that Donna and the Dynamos isn't a world smash and like world famous group lends the idea that like ABBA doesn't exist. ABBA does exist in that world.
Yeah, and if those actually were Bjorn and Benny at the beginning, when she goes, hit it, and they start playing When I Kiss the Teacher, you would have seen, but the listeners can't see this, but you would have seen Benny behind her like,
Excuse me.
is anybody
My song.
seeing this? So she learned in school to just plagiarize and rip people. This is I wrote this song.
But on the other hand, if they sung that without the ABBA frame of reference, they'd have been like, why the fuck is this girl singing about kissing the teachers?
That is a fantastic song, because you know how some songs you're like, what is this? What's this about? Is it about sex? Is it about love? Is it about drugs? Like, every single line ties back to I kissed the teacher.
Yes.
Everybody screamed when I kissed the teacher, and they must not have agreed when I kissed the teacher,
Especially in
I have a dream, a song to sing about kissing the teacher.
especially in that day and age where I feel like a lot of like the sexual or sexually driven
Right.
songs were masked
Yeah.
in like these references and cloaked sort of lingo, and they're just like, nah, I wanted to fuck the teacher.
Tell you what, dude, ABBA, they were ahead of their time in a lot of ways. They were Max Martin before Max Martin, but they were ahead of their time as far as being explicit, because not only that song, I was listening to Andante Andante. Oh my god, that is the most, it's like it sounds like a nice pretty song, and it is, but it is unmistakably like, fuck my body. That is what that song is saying.
They should have made it about a guy named Dante and called it On Dante.
Oh,
On Dante.
On Dante, on Dante. Maybe the Greek guy is Dante.
Okay.
That guy is awesome. You know who hates that guy?
No.
His mom.
Really?
Yes? Are you kidding?
I don't know.
She's the old Greek woman.
Oh, yes.
She despises
Wait, is his name Andante?
No.
Oh.
No, but I'm just saying, like, now that we've brought that guy up, that woman hates her son more than anybody. He got her a job.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He owns the bar.
He owns the bar. My son had to buy bar because it's the only way to.
It's like, lady, you fucking work here,
Right? Like I wish that when she was saying that, like, my son, the owner, he had to buy bar because his band sucks. Blah blah. I'd be like, excuse me, I'm sorry, miss. She'll talk to you in a minute, Mom. You can give me shit outside of here, but when you're here, this is work.
I'm your boss.
I am your son, but I am also your boss.
Yes.
We all have to be pulling in the same direction. And then her mom would be like, I'm sure that she'd be like, you don't pay me. It's totally believable that guy doesn't pay his employees.
But on the flip side, she has a house that's vacant and has a horse in it, and she didn't give it to her son.
That house is trash, though.
It is, but it has potential.
It does.
As
that annoyed me when Tanya's like, how did she know that this place could be better?
Well,
like,
that was Feidelberg's.
It was the worst it could possibly be, and then they made it better.
Well, no. Well, Feidelberg's big takeaway was like, oh, she saw the potential in a beachfront property on like a tropical island.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't even know that Feidelberg saw the movie.
Yeah, he was like, I loved it, but like that stuck with me the entire way after the fact, because he was like, yeah, no shit, it has potential. It's like a huge place on top of a hill on a tropical island
that you just got for free.
Property. Yeah,
that you just got for free. Yeah, like she went there for a reason. Like it's not like work sent her to that town.
Right, she wasn't in like Baltimore and been like, I think I'm gonna stay here.
Right, she found like a little nook hidden away. No, Donna was a lot smarter than we gave her credit for. Or maybe Tanya was a lot stupider. Tanya was just like really mean and sexual, and that was kind of that. So, concluding, does ABBA exist in the Mamma Mia 2 world? Or in the Mamma Mia world?
Today's episode of Brunch is brought to you by Butcher Box. I think this is maybe our first ever food promo.
Big moment. We've been trying to get into the game forever. Also, no, RX bars.
Oh yeah, that's true. But there's like
free shout out.
That's like a snacky food.
It's I have used it.
You treat
I
it
can
as a
use
meal
it
plan.
in as a meal supplement.
No free ads for RX bar.
With 300 grams of protein.
Butcher Box delivers healthy 100% grass-fed and grass-finished beef, free-range organic chicken, and heritage breed pork. The incredible quality. What?
Braised or bread?
Heritage breed.
Oh, you said heritage braid pork.
Well,
and it was so.
I don't think anybody.
It was
knows.
It was close to 3 words. I guessed the other 2.
The incredible quality of Butcher Box starts with the commitment to raising animals humanely and free of antibiotics and hormones. Each box comes with at least 9 to 11 pounds of meat, which is enough for 24 individual-sized meals. Let me tell you something. Not if you eat like I do. If you choose from 5, you can choose from 5 different box types: all beef, beef and chicken, beef and pork, mixed box, and custom box, which lets you choose your own cuts.
See, these guys are thinking outside of the box because I imagined
inside the box.
I imagined
butcher box.
The type of box would be like a cardboard box or a wood box containing all this great butcher box food. But you heard it right. These are beef boxes. You have to handle them with gloves.
I will tell. Well, you kind of sort of do because they send it to you in a box,
cold,
in a styrofoam
thing
those, with dry ice.
Nice.
They sent me one.
Nice.
And I've tried the stuff. It's actually really, really good. It's great to eat meat from animals that were killed humanely. Choose from curated boxes including a mix of high quality beef, chicken, pork, or customize your own box. It's a high-quality, healthy protein that you can trust. 100% grass-fed and finished, free-range organic chicken, heritage breed pork. That's right, you heard me. It's convenient. Butcher Box is like your neighborhood butcher. It's delivered right to your door on dry ice. Free shipping anywhere in the 48 United States. I'm assuming that's without...
Excluding Puerto Rico, Alaska, and Hawaii.
Yeah, nailed it. Personal experience, I can vouch for them. It's some good ass meat. I love it. If you want to join Butcher Box and get your own high quality meat, go to butcherbox.com/brunch. That's free bacon and $20 off your first box if you go to butcherbox.com/brunch.
So I got plenty of ways of getting meat. I've been getting meat since before you were born. This is now twice that you have taken what has been sent to us, probably.
Oh, yeah.
You took my underwear order for MeUndies, and just to make sure we were the same size underwear, and then took mine as well, which, brilliant move. But now that I'm missing out on meat,
That's why people got to go to butcherbox.com/brunch so that that they'll continue and extend this sponsorship and that you can get next box.
Then maybe I'll get my share.
See, this is my way of motivating you to sell our listeners.
Well, the other move would have been
to split the box,
to give me my share of the meat. Your arms are going to get bigger. Your body, you're going to get wide on my meat.
That's true. You are.
That's why I haven't gotten wide. You're eating all my protein, bro.
Very insensitive of me to hold out the Butcher Box stuff when you're trying to get wide. I'm very sorry. I will. I don't know if this is technically correct, but I'll just say that it was before you were officially trying to get wide.
Nice. Yeah. I'm a big fudge in the timeline guy.
Yes.
If any of you guys haven't fudged the timeline
That's why you
before,
love Mamma Mia.
Fudge the timeline. Speaking of Mamma Mia, why doesn't the old Greek woman like her son's music?
I don't know why.
Because it would be better if it was like, we're fucking in the car, shooting heroin. That song.
Unbelievable.
Bang!
It comes in so hard.
Yes.
It's just like,
in the
he's
second
just screaming.
verse, I was balling like a bitch. Oh, God. Matt Healy.
I've been like sitting on this take for a little while because I feel like this has been, sort of like a pretty weak year for music. I don't know if you would agree with that.
It's been a quiet year. Yeah.
Yeah, and for me, like, I've just sort of taken a step back from music. Like, I'm taking some time off. From actively consuming new music because I'm head over heels right now into movies.
Yeah.
So I don't have a lot of effort left to find the new music.
Yeah.
But. So I've been like cautiously sitting on this take. I think the new 1975 album. I'm gonna unleash this right now. I think
the best album of the year.
I think it's one of the best albums
that you've
of the year.
heard.
Yes, one of the best
as
albums.
Someone who just said you haven't been listening to music.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, I think it's. Okay, so I'll phrase it like this: it's one of my favorite albums of the year.
I agree. I think. Like, I haven't had many huge, like, oh my god, I love this album, I want to listen to it every second. There's been, like, 4 or 5 this year, but this is one of them.
Yes.
When 1975, when they had their first album, a lot of my friends were really into them, and I didn't give them a totally fair shake. They were at Boston Calling one year, and I just kind of kept like half an eye on the performance, and it was a bunch of teenage girls. And I was like, oh, okay, so it's like a boy band. Maybe like it's kind of, I've just kind of missed that thing. It's a little too young for me. And then their second album came out, and I was like, all right, I don't care what these guys are. They are making music like Peter Gabriel, and that's really cool. And I wanted to see them at Lollapalooza. We missed them. It was the first day we got there. We just missed them. But like, I don't know, like the 1975 to me has always been like just like a very interesting thing because I was never as big a fan as my friends, and but I was like, I definitely know that they're really good. And then a couple years ago, they were at Boston Calling. They were great, awesome, such a fun time. And now this is the best of their albums, I would say. They're like just embracing, like we're going full David Foster 80s type of vibes. And I love it. And shouts out to little kids because they were just onto something. They were like, yo, these are sexy dudes who make awesome music.
Yeah, it's
Shout
weird.
Out kids.
It's weird to get like beat by little
yes,
kids
exactly.
on a music thing.
And I'm sure they did because like they had cute hair and everything. But no, fair is fair.
Yeah,
you guys said they were awesome, and you were right.
They beat us on Justin Bieber too.
Yeah.
But
I'm like, I don't know if these kids realize how fucked up he is. Like, I love Justin Bieber, but I know he's a fucking wacko. I don't think they do. So they only get half credit.
But to be fair, at the time that most little kids went in on Justin Bieber, he probably wasn't that weird. He was probably a product of the...
The first thing I saw of Justin Bieber was when they did the We Are the World like 25 years later thing. And I forget what cause it was for. It may have been for Haiti. I can't remember. I don't think it was a Katrina thing, but they did like another thing of We Are the World.
Definitely wasn't for Katrina because Bieber would have been like 5 years old at that point. Wouldn't
he was a kid. I think it was for Haiti or I forget what. But people were like, "Yo, there's a new We Are the World," and I don't know if you know this. I am a We Are the World aficionado. Okay. I know everything about We Are the World. I stan We Are the World.
You must have hated the new one, huh?
So my friends were like, "Hey, Deej, buckle up. You know that song from a million years ago that you really like? There's a new one." And I was like, okay, let's take a look. And it was Justin Bieber sang the beginning of it. He sang the first line, "There comes a time when we heed a certain call." And it was like a little kid singing with auto-tune. And I was like, I don't know who this kid is, but I want him out of the picture forever. And everyone's like, you don't know who Justin Bieber is? Oh my God, you're such a... Like, I was going to say they called me a millennial, but we didn't have that as a mean term back then. They were like, oh, you're such a grandpa. And I was like, I got my eye on this kid, and I hate him. And then like a year later, he was on... Jimmy Fallon or something, and they were like, yo, so you play the drums? And he started playing the drums, and I was like, yeah, this kid sucks at drums. Who is this kid that we keep like giving shit to? This kid's a punk. And then he started getting arrested, and I was like, all right, I'll give him a yeah. I was like, all right, fair is fair. Seems pretty cool. I started pissing on stuff, and I was like, all right, you played the long game, but you got me.
Speaking of arrested, I just found out like today that one of my friends from college, or not my friends from college, but like an acquaintance from college got arrested. Let me tell you, it's a real thrill to find out that somebody that you know got arrested. I mean, I don't love
thrill the right word.
Yeah, well, it's like a personal thrill. It's like when you're old. I imagine it's like when you're old and you see somebody that you know is in the obituaries.
Yeah.
Remember, I believe that's an Everybody Loves Raymond thing, where like Frank reads the obituaries.
Sounds
and
funny,
like,
so yeah.
Like,
right.
Ha, sucker, I beat. I just like to look at all the names that I beat.
Yeah, he stunts on them.
Yes. Yeah. So, while it's a shame that people die, and that people get arrested sometimes, it's a nice little thrill for me to know that I'm doing better.
Oh yeah, I mean we are nothing if not constantly comparing ourselves to our peers. Yes. Speaking of...
so shouts out to all you people who get arrested and make me feel better about myself.
Speaking of being arrested, at work the other night, we were doing a thing where we had to fill in the blank. It's like they'll say, all right, so this is happening. So so-and-so will be what? And we were talking about how the Packers fired Mike McCarthy, and it was fill in the blank. Josh McDaniels will be blank next year. And I said, arrested, with like a little like intriguing thing, because just like that opportunity was there. No laughs. I thought it was a cool thing. Instead of being like, hey, he'll be offensive coordinator, it's like, you could say anything. He will be.
You should have really went for it and been like, dead.
Well, I would have been. So we brought up recently, like, I think the Belichick's gonna like never plans on retiring, and I was like, well, we were all supposed to be dead like 10 years ago. So even if he doesn't plan on retiring, like, we're all gonna retire in a couple of years. We are on such borrowed time. Don't forget it,
The Earth
folks.
is going to retire.
Yes, don't forget it. So speaking of depressing things, that 1975 album.
Yes.
What's the last song? The Oasis one. I always feel like dying sometimes. Yeah.
Or I always want to die sometimes.
Yeah, same. There's a lot of get your own podcast on this album.
I know.
It's like very anti technology.
Oh yeah, it's well, the name of it is A Brief Inquiry into Online Relationships.
Yeah.
And then there's one with I think it's like an interlude or something, and it's called The Man Who Fell in Love with a Robot.
Yeah.
And it's just like about a person
Someone
who
whose
just like
companion was
loves
the
their
internet.
computer.
Yeah.
And it's definitely a very darkly and problematic, like, relatable album.
Problematic in a good way. Problematic in like no one's going to jail.
Problematic for like the listener who relates to it. I mean, that's an issue that if you relate to it.
I will say, if we were doing stamps on this album, my stamp would be, I liked it better the first time when Father John Misty did it, and it was called Pure Comedy.
That's not a bad.
Halfway through one of his songs, that's like a real like hits you in the feels song, stops and he asks how the listener would rate the experience so far, and if this song totally gets you.
I did like the fact that you snuck in a Father John Misty song at the end of a recent episode without telling me.
Oh, it was, I was editing it.
It was Tiny
Dancer.
Yeah. Tiny what?
Tiny Dancer.
Oh, I thought you said Tiny Answer.
Tiny, well, we're all looking for our tiny little answer. He has a song called Born in the USA. He would not be above having a song called Tiny Answer.
That's why I asked.
Yeah.
Like, I was wondering if that was actually the fucking name of it.
Yeah.
So it's him doing Tiny Dancer and just like explaining some of the lines. It's hilarious.
Yeah, well, the best part is when he says, because he's like really going for it. He's like, he's not.
He's screaming it, and the crowd is just like increasingly loving it.
It was on it was the SS Coachella. I don't know if they do it anymore, but it was like a Coachella cruise.
Floating Coachella?
Yeah.
Dude, that absolutely sounds like something I'm not into.
There are videos of him doing karaoke. One of them is I Believe I Can Fly, and it's great. But another one is Tiny Dancer, and there's this big staircase, and he's just like prancing up and down it like only he could. But yeah, it's great when he says seamstress for the band. He's like, I wish my band had a seamstress.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Man, I can't. The idea of a floating music festival just sounds like a horrifying idea to me, and it's stuck in my head right now.
Yeah,
because it's like, the people that go to music festivals.
Yeah.
How would you like to be stuck with all of them on a vessel that you cannot escape?
But you know what? I mean, the people of Austin City Limits Festival made a very good impression on me.
Yeah.
Didn't find anybody who was poorly behaved. Nobody was rude. Everybody was nice. It was quite unnerving. Didn't like it.
Yeah. Good point. I mean, I would not say the same for like other music festivals.
Yeah, well, just in general, if there's a lot of people,
too many people.
Yeah,
Yes.
it stinks. Shout out Paul McCartney. That's a cut off his album Ram from 1972, I believe. It's called Too Many People. Great song. One of my favorite songs. Very good stuff. On the subject of the 1975 album, you were saying it was your favorite album, or maybe your favorite album of the year.
Yeah.
I do every year best of 2018.
Yeah, man. We're heading
playlist.
heavy on into list season.
Right. I tossed 2 of the songs from this album on there.
Which 2?
I put "Love It If We Made It."
Yeah, that's a great one.
That's a very on-brand song because he's not talking about like "I love it if we made it as a couple." He's saying like it would be sick if humans made it. Yeah. Very, very great, very on-brand. Although I don't necessarily know if I would love it. I'm just aware that we might not make it.
Yes.
And it's just too ear candy to not. It's not living if it's not with you.
That's a jam.
That
is probably the most basic song on the album.
That is fully embracing. Like I said, there's like a lot of David. It sounds David Foster-esque. So really, really cool stuff. Check out that album.
I like America, and America Likes Me is like a very Bon Iver, Francis and the Lights kind of song, and it's awesome.
I should also say there's a huge Kendrick Lamar influence on this album as well, where it's just very, very herky-jerky, very jazzy. It's all over the place, which is what like a lot of Kendrick Lamar songs are, like where at any point a song could sound like 5 different songs.
Right. How do you feel about Give Yourself a Try? Because like that was the first single off this one.
Oh, it was?
Right? I believe.
Oh, yes, it was, because that was the only one I knew before the album came out.
Yeah, and I wasn't crazy about it, and like it sort of worried me to a certain extent about like where the album was going. But I feel like I like it better in the context of the
I was going to
record.
say, I remember when it came out, I listened to it once or twice, but now when I listen to the album, I play it through with it, so I guess it's a good sign that I like it. Also really like Be My Mistake.
Yes.
That's
a really good song lyrically.
Oh, yeah. The lyrics on this album are really, really good. There were, I think it's in I Love It If We Made It. He said, facts are hearsay or something. Just really...
In Be My Mistake, there's a line, because that's a song about like love versus lust. And there's a line that says like, you make me hard, but she makes me weak, and I'm like, ooh,
yeah,
that's a fucking good one. It's a great
line. I will say this is the best album about the plight of humanity since 2017's Pure Comedy. Shouts out to Father John Misty for coming out with albums in back-to-back years. You don't see that anymore,
and both of them being fire,
and both of them being good. Right. Well, just shouts out to him for right after he released a very good album, having a huge personal crisis.
Yeah, I know.
And
when isn't that guy having a personal crisis though? So like,
yeah,
maybe we've got another one soon. I feel like that guy's never gonna not be like writing music.
Well, I wondered. So Pure Comedy came out, then he was on tour. And then, like, a few months later, he was like, oh, yeah, I went through something terrible this past year. Was estranged from my wife, and now here's an album about it. I was like, when? Just logistically, like, when was that time? Like, you were on tour. You didn't have time to be living in a hotel for a month, dude.
And especially between writing all those SoundCloud parody songs.
That's true. Right. But you know what? I think about that sometimes, like, as far as like mental health goes and shit like that. Like, if you're doing poorly and you're like going through some shit, like there have definitely been parts of stretches in this podcast, probably like the first 2 years we did it, where I would like not be doing well and you wouldn't be able to know it from listening. So like I was still coming up with fun things and funny things and doing this funny stuff, but still that was like pushing out 1 hour of energy and then being shitty the rest of the time.
Yeah.
So like when you see something like that, like Father John Misty was coming up with these like funny parody things, that totally, I like do not flag. Rule out that he was also doing, I don't know, it's weird. Like I feel like you can be fun and entertaining at the same time as like you're doing terrible.
Oh, I feel like that's a really common thing, because it's almost sort of like an excuse and a distraction to like do anything and sort of distract yourself from how terrible you're doing.
Yeah.
And then like it's just like you'll put out anything and find any way to distract yourself.
Yeah. And like we also live in the day and age of just like with social media or whatever, and having like semi-public jobs. Like if you talk to someone you haven't spoken to in a while, they'll be like, "Hey, so like, how have you been?" And you're like, well, you know." And they're like, "Well, you look like you're. Oh, give me a break.
Yeah,
you look like you're having all sorts of fun." And I was like, because I fucking like posted a picture of me wearing a jacket that was too small. That was like, it was just a funny thing. So I thought I would post that picture.
It's because I wrote a SoundCloud song about Toyota Priuses.
That song is fire. You know what else is fire? Robin Hood. What is Robin Hood, you ask? Oh, I don't know. Only this current sponsor. People ask me all the time, what is it? It's an investing app, I say, that lets you buy and sell stocks, ETFs, options, and cryptos. What do you think the commission situation is? It's commission-free.
Commission-free.
Robinhood is a commission-free
That's not
app.
true. That's not true, actually. It's factually
You get
incorrect.
a commission.
No, we've been commissioned to read this app.
That is true. I would have chosen to do it anyway. The conversation was getting stale. They strive to make financial services work for everyone, not just the wealthy. It's a non-intimidating way for stock market newcomers like me, I'm a total noob when it comes to this stuff, to invest for the first time with true confidence. It's also like a Planet Fitness type situation. If you're a noob, no one's calling you a noob. They're not.
There's no lunk alarm.
No lunk alarm. No. You don't have to sweat. Simple. There's a clear design with data presented in an easy to digest way. Robinhood's not going to be giving you stomach aches.
Jesus.
I want you to be motivated to do this. There's no commission fees. Again, other brokerages, they're going to charge up to $10 for every trade made, but Robinhood doesn't charge commission fees. Trade stocks and keep all your profits. It's easy to use. It's got an easy to understand chart, market data. Place a trade in just 4 taps of your smartphone, and you learn it by doing. It's very intuitive. You learn how to invest as you build your portfolio, discover new stocks, and track favorite companies with personalized news feed, and you get custom notifications for price movements so you never miss the right moment to invest. Robinhood is giving listeners a free stock like Apple, Ford, Sprint, Brunch. Just kidding, we're not public yet. To help build your portfolio, sign up at brunch.robinhood.com. That's brunch.robinhood.com. Have fun with it, folks.
Quick little programming notice. We've got some new merch for the winter season, and if you want to get any of it for Christmas, you should probably order sooner rather than later.
Put it in. We also we should put a cool winter hat in there.
Ooh.
Like, do they make like? Could we make like a colorful like poof ball hat?
I can ask our guy Ryan.
Yeah.
Our guy Ryan has designed all the new merch that we've got.
It's state-of-the-art merch.
It sure is. It is modern, sleek.
It is
state-of-the-art.
all the right holes in all the right places.
Yes.
These shirts are state-of-the-art.
Yeah, and so I think what's going to happen is we are going to put up a promo code for the Patreon people.
Nice.
And that's going to go up probably before this episode drops. So if you want to get any of your Christmas merch, be sure to do that sooner rather than later because it takes a little while to ship out.
Speaking of merch and clothing, here's a question. Can you wear red hats anymore?
Like baseball hats?
Yes.
It's tough, man.
Can you wear a hat that is red?
It's really tough because if somebody's walking
catching you
behind
from the wrong angle.
Yeah, man, you're really putting yourself out there.
I got a hat from Austin City Limits that I loved. We took a picture with Houndmouth, looked at it. My hair was trash. I ran to the merch store, bought a hat, this trucker hat with this really cool logo on it. It's like very, it's like a very Cali type of hat.
Yeah.
Awesome hat. It's red.
And it has small white font.
Every now and then someone will be like, watch yourself, man. Don't wear that
So
hat in the wrong
unfortunate.
place. And it makes me so mad because I love the hat. And another one of my favorite hats is a Budweiser hat.
Oh, man, that hat rules.
Yeah. And I mean, you catch me from behind. I'm white and an idiot. There's such a good chance that like the red could complete the trifecta.
Yeah, but that one's a little bit different because that, like, towards the front, it just says Bud. On the front, it just says Bud, and it's in, like, big letters.
It's unmistakable.
So, like, if somebody,
it's red with white lettering.
That's true, but I mean, like, if somebody catches you from the front, they're not going to question that. Your Austin City Limits hat is small white lettering, and it says Austin City
It's around
Limits.
a logo, though. It's like it's red with like a big yellow thing and a blue Texas. It's look who's talking.
The old Texas symbol is probably not helping you that much.
Dude, have we discussed like how come the bad people got the flag?
What do you mean?
Like, the American flag, this might be controversial. The American flag is, like, used by all the, like, the crazy ones.
Well,
yeah.
because, like, they're the ones
They're
who,
like, America,
yeah.
America. Like, no, but even
It's like,
that.
I like
even,
America.
How come shoving America down, how come they have shoving America down people's throat? Like, when I go to a concert and have a great time, I should be able to be like,
USA!
Yeah, like America! Like, what a great, like, I won't say great because you do America great again, but like,
what a fantastic
wonderful
place.
land! Like, what great, like, I know all these beautiful people. Look what possibilities have happened in this country. But I feel like if you say that, people are like, ooh, you want to bomb the rest of the world. That stinks. How come they got it?
Because they got it because they're the ones that are like, oh, the troops! The troops!
But I love the troops too.
Yeah, man. I don't know. They just somehow screamed it louder than all of us.
Isn't that... I brought this up to somebody the other day, and they were like, yeah. Like, if I wore a shirt that was like a big American flag...
You were like, ooh, racist.
Yeah. That's...
I know. I wish
Can we take the flag back?
I would love to. But
Because
how do
you have an American flag tattoo, don't you?
I do, yeah.
Yeah. I love my country.
Yeah, man.
Getting back to the red hat thing.
Yeah.
I
don't know.
This is the type of season where somebody could be in trouble. You see Santa Claus up there. You're like, what's that guy wearing?
He's got a
red hat, red and white hat.
Ooh.
Does he have to change the colors?
Ooh. Yeah, imagine.
I think that we should.
Santa picked a side.
Yes. How come they got the color red?
Yes. We're just going to start seeing from the liberals. The liberals are going to start putting out blue Santa costumes.
That's a great I feel like we could do some damage on social if we did. If we asked the question, does Santa's hat look too much like America Great Again hat?
Well, that's like, yeah, like I feel like old school, like
a
Christmas
big fat
commentary.
old white guy wearing a red hat with white stuff on it.
Can't rule it out.
That is right.
Right.
It's like a 70-30 chance that hat says "Make America Great Again" on it, and he's so far up high. You can't make out exactly what's going on there.
Right.
You see the little ball at the end of it. That could be some lettering for all you know.
Right. And I would say that Christmas, like old Christmas things, old Christmas traditions are now becoming, there's like a wokeness around them.
Oh, don't.
No,
if you bring it up, I will kill you.
No, not
Okay.
not the song that everybody already knows, but I'm not going to bring that up.
Can we be done having the take of, oh, wait, I just realized that Baby It's Cold Outside is creepy. If you didn't realize that the first time you listened to the words, that is your problem.
It's
this
so
is not
tired.
news, and I'm not disagreeing with you that it's creepy. I'm just saying, people who are pointing it out and think that, like, they are uncovering something,
Yeah, that.
What
take,
about it
that
wasn't
take is
creepy?
Like 15 years old.
Yeah.
at least.
Also, I tweeted this the other day. When we focus on how creepy that song is, we let that other song off the hook. We let "Is that you, Santa Claus?" off the hook. Don't know what the rest of those lyrics are, but you're telling me that's not creepy? A guy that goes, "Is that you, Santa Claus?" That's creepier than anything I've ever heard.
What about "I Saw Mommy Kissing Santa Claus"? Don't kink shame mom.
Yeah. Oh, wait. I just realized that song is saying that Dad was wearing a Santa. They were humping in like a
Bumping
Santa
uglies.
Claus. And
even if it wasn't Dad.
See, I thought because
Maybe-
it's sung
maybe
from
Dad.
the perspective of a kid. So how does a kid know that that's her dad?
Yeah, well, maybe it's not. Maybe it is actually Santa Claus. And
I like to think that she was just cheating.
that too.
Yeah.
Or don't kink shame. Maybe it's Mom and Dad working in a third.
Oh,
Providing some spice in their
I
lives.
saw Mommy kissing Santa Claus while
Daddy
Dad
was in the
was
corner
recording.
videotaping.
Yeah,
I like.
I
that
think that
idea.
we're onto something.
Being very progressive.
Let's break down that other wall. We're only
Yes.
seeing two sides of it.
Exactly. No, but that song wasn't even what I was talking about. It was the what was it? I forget, it was some internet company that was like, is Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer problematic?
Oh, God, it was the Huffington Post.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, I think it was. And
they really dissected it, but
that was peak. Oh, my God, people are so
that was
dumb.
Like peak over
The bad guys were being bad.
Right. I don't think anybody watches, like,
nobody's watching that and is like, oh man, I hope that Rudolph gets to be friends with those people, but not, or with those reindeer without them changing. Like, no, you want people to be nice.
Right, they were straight up bullying Rudolph in the first half of that movie, which is exactly like why Rudolph feels terrible about himself. It's the entire.
We live in the dumbest time.
It is insane, man.
We live in a time where
that is the entire message of that movie is predicated on the fact that people are mean and pass judgment on somebody that is different.
Sometimes, like, you'll hear artists say, like, I saw Don Henley a few years ago, and he played Everybody Wants to Rule the World by Tears for Fears. And he was like, I have no connection to this song, but when I heard it for the first time, I was really mad I didn't write it. This is a great song, and I wish that I wrote it. And then he played it, and it was great. That happens a lot with artists where they'll hear a song, and they'll be like, they're kicking themselves. Like, I should have been able to write that. I feel like people see other people uncover why something is bad, and they think, like, damn it, why? I should have figured that out first.
Right.
I should, like, oh man, I should have. If I just really sat down with Rudolph, I could have been able to make a case for why it's problematic.
And they just jump on stuff that, like, isn't problematic because they're trying so hard to uncover something.
And then, yeah. Anyway, we live in the dumbest time. Here's a question. How long do you think production, like filming, of Christmas Chronicles was? Like, from beginning of rolling tape to the end of rolling tape?
I would honestly say, like, 14 days.
14 days?
Yeah.
My answer is 24 hours.
Really?
And that's what makes it so great.
Yeah.
Because it was a movie that was just going so fast and they never stopped for a second. They were like, was there a script to that movie?
I have no idea.
Like, did they know how they wanted Kurt Russell to play Santa Claus?
I don't even think Kurt Russell knew how Kurt Russell wanted to play Santa.
Right. Like, did they know, like, what message they were trying to send? It was just...
There was certainly no preparation done by Kurt Russell in playing Santa Claus.
Just barrels you over. And I was talking to a friend about it the other day, and he was like, they must have just banged out that movie so quick.
Yeah, that's definitely a movie that Lamore and Morris definitely shot that movie in between other projects.
Yeah.
Like in like a 2-week break.
Like, I think that he shot that movie in between meals.
Yeah, now I want to know because I'm curious. So you don't actually have the answer. You're just like,
no, my guess is 24 hours.
Okay.
My guess is that it was that brilliant mess was just 24 hours. Like, you could see some people that they weren't done with their makeup. It was just all flying. God bless it. I'm probably going to watch it again.
And they just like, they were like, oh shit, we need a place for these people to be from. So they spun a globe and landed on Lowell, Mass.
Actually, that movie was problematic because the gang members were in a gang.